Have you ever looked at your bank account, sighed dramatically, and asked the universe, why can't I just have infinite pizza? Why can't I have a bigger TV than my cousin? Why am I paying $14 for a piece of toast?
Oh my gosh, yes. Or you look at a receipt and think, wait, where did all my money go? Did I eat my money?
Exactly. You feel completely lost, frustrated, and honestly a little bit broke. Well, guess what? You are not crazy. You are just experiencing the terrifying, confusing world of economics. Ooh.
Stop it, Adam. It's not a ghost story. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. If you are looking for an English-speaking practice conversation that isn't totally boring, you are in the perfect place. I'm Hana.
And I'm Adam, and today we are going to talk about economics. But wait, do not click away, do not panic. I promise you, this will not be a boring, sleepy math class.
We are going to teach you the English you need to understand money, shopping, and why things cost what they do. And we're going to do it in a fun, completely stress-free way. This is the ultimate English-speaking practice for beginners.
If you stay with us to the very end, we will show you how to speak English fluently and confidently so you can sound super smart at your next dinner party. You can impress your friends. You can impress your cat. And before we start, please do us a massive favor. Hit that like button and click subscribe. Please, if you don't, I will cry. Seriously, guys, I cry very easily. I cried yesterday because I dropped a single French fry on the floor.
He really did. He just stared at the floor with tears in his eyes. It was so sad. So please save Adam from his tears. Subscribe. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Okay, Adam, we are going to spend a lot of time right here in this section because the concept of economics is actually hilarious if you really think about it. When you hear the word economics, what is the first thing that pops into your head? Be completely honest.
Honestly, math. Terrible, terrible math. Men in gray suits yelling on Wall Street, and me feeling very, very poor.
That is so relatable. A lot of English learners avoid talking about this topic because the vocabulary feels so heavy. But if you've been searching for a good English communication skills training video, this is it. Really, economics is just the study of choices.
Choices? Like choosing between taking a nap and doing the dishes? Because I always choose the nap. I am very lazy. I will let the dishes sit there for 3 days.
Yes, exactly like that. Here is the fundamental problem of economics, everyone. Listen closely to this story. As humans, we want stuff. We want food, we want shelter, we want cool clothes, and we want a slightly larger TV than our cousin has.
Oh, I definitely want a larger TV than my cousin Kevin. Kevin is so smug about his TV. Kevin is always like, look at the high definition, Adam. I hate Kevin's TV.
Right, we all have a Kevin in our lives. But here's the massive problem. There's not enough stuff to go around in the world. There's not infinite food, there are not infinite houses, and definitely not infinite slightly larger TVs.
Which is a tragedy. If there were infinite pizza, economics wouldn't even exist. We would just sit on the couch, eat pizza all day, and be 100% happy.
But because there isn't infinite pizza, we have to make choices. We want to show you how to learn English speaking easily by talking about these daily choices. Because there isn't enough stuff, that creates a concept called scarcity. Scarcity is the reason you can't have everything. And because you can't have everything, you have to trade.
Trade? Like, I will give you my sandwich if you do my homework.
Exactly. Imagine a long time ago before money existed. You have 10 apples, I have 5 bananas. We both want variety in our diet. So what do? We trade. Trade happens. It's a win-win situation. Unless you're allergic to bananas, in which case it's still a win-win, you just need an ambulance.
Here are your apples. Please call the hospital. But seriously, trading is hard without money. Imagine going to buy a new Wi-Fi router and you try to pay the store with a live goat. Hello, Best Buy employee. Please accept this goat for the internet.
That is why money was invented. Money is just a medium of exchange. It avoids the whole "I'll trade you a goat for Wi-Fi" situation. Money keeps the gears of trade spinning.
But wait. How do people even decide who gets what? How do we decide who gets the cool jobs and who gets the bad jobs?
That brings us to a funny concept called comparative advantage. This is my favorite rule in economics. Listen to this, guys. Even if you're worse than everyone at everything, you can still specialize and benefit from trade.
Wait, really? So even if I suck at absolutely everything in life, I am still useful?
Yes, you might be terrible at everything, but someone else is more terrible proportionately. Congratulations, Adam. You are economically useful. Trade isn't about being the absolute best. It's about being the least worst at the right thing.
The least worst? That should be on my resume. Adam, he is the least worst podcaster you will find.
Exactly. And all of this trading only happens because of incentives. Humans are simple creatures. We respond to incentives.
Oh, I know this one. If you tell me, Adam, if you clean the studio, I will give you a high five, I am not going to clean the studio. A high five is a terrible incentive.
Right. But what if I say, Adam, if you clean the studio, I will buy you a new video game?
Oh, the studio will be sparkling clean in 5 minutes. The video game is a massive incentive.
Exactly. And in the real world, prices are the incentives. If a pizza costs $100, you will not buy it. The price is too high. But if a pizza costs $1, what will you do?
I will buy 7 pizzas and eat them all in my car.
Lower prices incentivize buyers. Higher prices incentivize sellers. This back and forth dance creates a market. A market can be a farmer's market, it can be Wall Street, or it could be your cousin Kevin selling you a used Fortnite skin through PayPal. It's all a market.
Are you guys laughing at me right now? I know you are. You're laughing at my pizza addiction. Okay, stop laughing and listen to Hana. She is dropping pure knowledge right now. This is why this is the best spoken English classes for beginners.
Thank you, Adam. So let's put it all together in a box. We have human desires, we have limited stuff, we have trading, and we have incentives. You put that in a box, shake it up, and boom, you have the global economy.
It's actually kind of beautiful, like a giant, stressful puzzle. But wait. What happens when it all goes wrong? What happens when I want avocado toast, but there is no avocado?
Oh, then you get a supply shock. Let's trace your breakfast. You want avocado toast. Someone has to grow the avocados in Mexico. Someone else bakes the bread. Someone ships both to the cafe in a giant truck. Someone puts it together and charges you $14. That sequence of steps is called a supply chain. It's like a crazy machine just to make your breakfast.
And if one thing breaks, if a boat gets stuck in a canal or a truck gets a flat tire, suddenly my toast costs $20.
Yes, because economics doesn't care about your feelings, Adam. It doesn't care if you stubbed your toe this morning. It only cares about math and desire.
Wow, this is deep. I feel like my brain is expanding. Okay, I think our listeners understand the massive, crazy world of choices now. Let's shrink it down and give them a few core vocabulary words they can actually use in real life.
All right, since we spent so much time talking about the big ideas, we are going to keep this vocabulary section very small and very powerful. Just 3 essential words you need to survive.
When learning English speaking for beginners, you don't need to memorize a dictionary. You just need the most important words.
Word number 1. We talked about it earlier, scarcity. Let's spell it together. S-C-A-R-C-I-T-Y. Scarcity.
Scarcity. Scarcity means there is not enough of something. It is rare. Remember, infinite pizza does not exist. That is scarcity.
Here's the sentence. There is a scarcity of cheap apartments in my city.
There is a scarcity of cheap apartments in my city.
There is a scarcity of cheap apartments in my city.
Now you, yes you, say it out loud. There is a... Good job.
Word number 2, the word everyone hates, inflation. I-N-F-L-A-T-I-O-N, inflation.
Inflation is when prices go up over time and your money becomes less powerful. It's why you feel broke even when you get a raise.
Exactly. Here's our sentence. Because of high inflation, groceries are much more expensive this year.
Because of high inflation, groceries are much more expensive this year.
Because of high inflation, groceries are much more expensive this year.
Your turn. Repeat it loudly. Because of high. Beautiful.
And the final word, number 3, budget. B-U-D-G-E-T. Budget. Note the silent D sound. It's pronounced budget.
A budget is your plan for your money. If you don't have a budget, you will spend all your money on video games and soup shovels.
Yes, you will. Here's the sentence. If we want to go on vacation, we need to stick to a strict budget.
If we want to go on vacation, we need to stick to a strict budget. Amazing. 3 simple words, massive economic power. Let's keep this English speaking practice moving.
Okay, Adam, how does thinking about money, taxes, and inflation actually make you feel?
Oh, Hana, it makes me feel stressed, sweaty, like I need to hide under my blanket and take a nap immediately.
It is stressful. Let's teach our listeners some great idioms and adjectives to describe how money makes them feel. The first one is a famous idiom, to cost an arm and a leg.
Ouch. Yes, if something costs an arm and a leg, it means it is ridiculously expensive. Like, that new smartphone costs an arm and a leg. Obviously, you don't physically chop off your arm to pay for it.
Next, what if you have no money at all? You can use the adjective broke. Broke means you have 0 money in your bank account.
Hey, Adam, do you want to go to the restaurant tonight? Sorry, I can't. I am totally broke until payday. I use this word way too much.
Do you want to try to be very, very careful with your money? We say you are pinching pennies. A penny is the smallest coin. If you are pinching them, you are squeezing them tightly because you refuse to spend them.
I love that one. Ever since I lost my job, I have been pinching pennies.
And finally, when you look at a big pile of bills you have to pay, you might feel overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means you have too much to deal with and you feel like you are drowning in stress.
Hey listeners, are you feeling overwhelmed by all these new English words? Listen to me. You are doing amazing. Seriously. We promise no boring tenses in English grammar with examples today. Just useful words you can actually use to talk to native speakers.
Yes, even if you mess up a word, who cares? We mess up all the time. Adam messes up English every day, and it's his native language.
It's completely true. Just yesterday, I forgot the word for spoon and asked Hana to hand me a soup shovel.
A soup shovel. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. So please, don't worry about making mistakes. You are improving every single minute you listen. You've got this. Keep smiling.
Okay, it is time for my favorite part of the podcast, the role play.
We are going to put all of these new words into a real-life situation. If anyone out there is wondering how to teach spoken English to beginners, doing funny, silly role plays is absolutely the best way. In this scenario, I'm the owner of a very fancy breakfast cafe. Adam is a customer who just wants to buy a simple piece of avocado toast.
But because this is an economics lesson, things are going to get a little chaotic. Let's set the scene. Ding, the cafe door opens. Hello there. Wow, this cafe looks amazing. I'm starving. I would like 1 order of avocado toast, please.
Welcome to Hana's Premium Morning Experience. That will be $14, please.
Choke, $14 for bread and a green vegetable? That costs an arm and a leg.
Sir, this is not just bread. This is a complex global supply chain. Someone grew the avocado in Mexico, someone baked the bread in France, someone shipped it on a boat, and I am standing here smiling at you. My labor has a high opportunity cost. I could be watching cat fails right now, but I'm serving you.
Okay, fine. You have a monopoly on breakfast in this neighborhood. I'm practically starving, so my demand is high. I'm not pinching pennies today. I will pay the $14. Here is my credit card.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. I just got a news alert. A massive container ship just got stuck in a canal.
A ship? What does a boat in a canal have to do with my breakfast?
It's a global supply shock, sir. Trade is frozen. The supply of imported avocados is dropping rapidly. Because the supply is going down, the price is going up. Your toast is now $25.
$25? We are experiencing hyperinflation right here in the cafe, in real time.
Sir, do you want the toast or not? The invisible hand of the free market does not care about your feelings.
I'm broke. Can I trade you a Fortnite skin for the toast? Money is just a medium of exchange anyway. Let's barter.
I do not accept virtual video game costumes. However, I will accept your shoes.
My shoes? We are doing the goat for Wi-Fi barter system now?
Sir, my productivity is dropping the longer I talk to you. Give me the shoes or no toast.
Fine. Here are my shoes. Please give me the toast. I'm going to have to reevaluate my entire budget after this trauma.
Okay, scene, cut.
You stole my shoes for a piece of toast. You are a terrible, terrible business owner.
It was a supply shock. I had to react to the market incentives.
Okay, stop laughing, Hana. Time to get serious for exactly 2 minutes.
It is time for the shadowing review. We are going to rapid-fire repeat the 5 most important sentences from today's lesson. If you want the best spoken English learning video sentences to practice with, this is the moment.
Listen carefully. Repeat after us. Speak loudly. Even if you are on the bus right now, yell it out. Let's go.
Sentence 1. There is a scarcity of affordable housing in the city.
There is a scarcity of affordable housing in the city.
Sentence 2. Because of inflation, groceries are much more expensive.
Because of inflation, groceries are much more expensive.
Sentence 3. We need to stick to a strict budget.
We need to stick to a strict budget.
Sentence 4. That new smartphone costs an arm and a leg.
That new smartphone costs an arm and a leg.
Sentence 5. Ever since I lost my job, I have been pinching pennies.
Ever since I lost my job, I have been pinching pennies. Boom, you absolutely crushed it. Your English productivity is through the roof right now.
Wow, we covered so much today. You learned about scarcity, opportunity cost, supply chains, inflation, and how to talk about your budget without crying.
You survived an economics lesson. I am so proud of you. The next time someone complains about the price of gas or coffee, you can just nod smartly and say, yes, a classic supply shock due to scarcity. You will sound like a total genius.
Before we go, we have a question for you. We want you to scroll down and answer this in the YouTube comments. Here's the question. If there was infinite money and no scarcity, what is the very first silly thing you would buy?
Oh, I would buy a solid gold soup shovel and maybe a pet goat to pay my internet bill. Go to the comments right now and practice your English by writing your answer. We read every single one.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Remember, every day you make a little progress. Keep smiling.
Bye, everyone. Go enjoy some reasonably priced toast.